Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a story for you here today titled Wife Breaks Down After Ancestry Test Proves That Our 10-Year Marriage Was a Complete Lie. So here we have yet another woman who is committing paternity fraud. Now, in my opinion, guys, any woman who lies about who the real father of their children is, they should be absolutely penalized by the law for doing this. Okay, women should face very real consequences, but oftentimes they don't. Okay, they get men to look after kids who they know are probably not theirs because they were cheating with some guy. And then, lo and behold, guys, the women have the audacity to break down and be shocked when the men actually discover it. I think that men should break up with these women immediately, throw them to the curb. Paternity fraud is absolutely no joke, guys. So let's jump into this story here. But guys, before we jump into today's story, just a quick reminder that I have set up a second channel where I will be recording daily videos or thereabouts once again of women over on TikTok. I know a lot of you guys enjoy this video style, but to be honest, it's very headache inducing to make. So I will be making one video a day roughly over on the second channel. If that interests you guys, make sure you go and check out the second channel. I'm going to leave the link in the video description. It says a 38-year-old man takes a DNA test as part of a fun family project, only to uncover a shocking truth. His 10-year marriage was built on a devastating lie. When the results exposed a long-hidden secret, his wife crumbles under the weight of what she kept buried for years. Yeah, so again, when the woman is having the breakdown, by the way, again, I really want to stress this. She's not having the breakdown because she understands what a mistake she made and she's really sorry about it. She's just sorry that she got caught for making the mistake. That's all that it is. He says, I, a 38-year-old male, thought that I had a happy marriage with my wife, who was a 36-year-old female, until a DNA test flipped everything upside down. We had been together for 12 years, married for 10. So wow, married for a decade, okay? We had a comfortable life, 2 kids, oh no, a home we loved, and a relationship I genuinely believed was built on honesty and trust, and my wife, Lauren, was my best friend, or so I thought. You know, it's really sad to see, guys, like the men that get screwed over, they always buy so heavily into the narrative of like, my wife is my best friend, and they just rely so heavily on trust and all of these sorts of things. You know, I don't buy this whole thing like, oh, the wife is the best friend, guys. You guys are partners. You have to be friends first. You know, always trust the woman. Let her do what she wants and just invest a lot of trust. To hell with that, man. To hell with that these days. Holy hell. All it took was a harmless ancestry test to shatter everything. He says, last Christmas, my extended family decided to take DNA tests, the kind that gives you ethnicity breakdowns and connects you with distant relatives. We thought that it'd be a fun bonding activity, so I ordered mine and sent it in and forgot about it for a few weeks. When the results came in, I logged in expecting to see some mix of European ancestry and maybe a long-lost cousin or two or something. Instead, I saw something that made my stomach turn. Under close matches, there was a child listed, a biological child, but it wasn't either of my kids. Ooh, so what is going on here? What is going on here? At first, I thought it was a glitch. The child was listed as roughly 10 years old. I only have one child around that age, my daughter Lily. I clicked on the match confused. The name didn't match. The location didn't match. I reached out to the support team thinking that something had gone wrong. Then I saw the part that broke me. Neither of my children were listed as biological matches. So this woman, if I'm understanding this correctly, hold on. So he's 2 for 2. Okay, so these 2 children are not his at all, right? So the wife hooked up with some other dude multiple times, maybe multiple other men, who the hell knows? But then he also has a child under close matches, a biological child, but it wasn't either of his kids. So I don't know what the hell is happening here. Let's continue. He says, I immediately ordered separate kits for both of my kids and myself, not telling my wife. I needed to know for sure. I thought that maybe the data was off, maybe there was a lab mix-up or something. Anything but what it was starting to look like. The results came back a few weeks later. Neither child was biologically mine. He says, I confronted her calmly and she broke down instantly. That night, I sat her down after we put the kids to bed. I told her I had something serious to ask and I needed absolute honesty. I told her about the test. I told her what I found. She didn't say a word at first. She just started shaking, then crying, and finally said, I was hoping you would never find out. Yeah, so again, she's not saying this because she's sorry, right? She's not having a little breakdown here because she's sorry. You know, she doesn't regret it. She just was hoping that the dude didn't find out. She admitted that when we had first started trying for kids, she was having an affair. Not once, but for over a year. She never knew who the father was, and instead of telling me, she let me believe that both children were mine. You were the better man, she said. You were the one I wanted to raise them. I didn't want to destroy our family. And she begged me to understand. She said the affair ended before our second child was born, but she never told him the truth because things were going so well. All right, so let's translate this. This is such an insult, by the way, all right? A lot of guys will hear a sentence like this and they'll take it as a compliment. Please understand that it's not, okay? So this woman says, you were a better man. The translation here, you were the better, naive provider than the other guy. Okay? This is the same language that women use when they're, you know, oh, you're such good boyfriend material, your husband material, and things like this. It really is a spit in the face because what it says is, I'm not as attracted to you as other men, but you give me money and stability. You provide finances. You're a better man, right? You have better morals, okay? So while she goes out there and hooks up with some guy for over a year, which by the way, she's lying about, it was like, whatever the women say, oh, we stopped seeing each other after this time. She continued to see him long after that, I guarantee you, okay? But the other guy, she'll happily go out there and hook up with and have fun and have kids with and everything. You know, but you're the good man. Interesting how that works, right? He says, I had changed diapers. I had stayed up through sleepless nights. I had taught them to ride bikes. I was there for every moment and every milestone. And it turns out I was never even entitled to be called their father, at least not my blood. I wasn't angry, not right away. He says I was numb. I just sat there while she cried, watching everything I thought was solid melt into nothing. Again, I don't know why the woman's crying. This is just stupid as hell. Right? She's the one that did this and she's the one crying. Interesting. He says, I couldn't sleep in that house. I couldn't look at her the same way. I didn't tell the kids what was going on. They're too young and none of this is their fault. But I knew I couldn't keep pretending for her sake, so I filed for separation. Not because I don't love the kids, but because the marriage was a lie and I needed time to process what that meant. And here's the really sad part about this story, the stories like this, man, is the kids are the ones who get really, really screwed over, okay? So the dude obviously is incredibly hurt. But I would argue maybe what's actually worse than the hurt, because, you know, a lot of adult guys, they can take a lot of suffering, right? It's not going to be pleasant for him. You know, it's going to be very, very rough for the guy, obviously. But the kids are like completely screwed here, man. You know, this will tear the family apart. And a lot of childhoods, you know, you can't really repair that crap, right? You go ahead and you damage a child's childhood. You can't repair it. It's simply not something that's repairable. The kids are obviously completely innocent as well, same as the dude. Okay, and these situations just make me very, very sad for the children. Obviously sad for the guy as well. But again, the kids don't understand any of this, man. They're just going to see one day that their father's gone, basically. You know, which is just heartbreaking stuff, man. It really is. So Lauren has been trying to fix it. She sends these long-ass texts. She leaves the voicemails. She begs to go to therapy. I don't understand what women's obsession with therapy is. It's so stupid to me. Says the kids need me and that I'm still their dad in every way that matters. That's just not true, though, is it? She's right, but the betrayal runs too deep. It wasn't just a moment of weakness. It was a decade of deception. Absolutely. He says, it's not about, okay, if this is another one of these idiots, I swear to goodness, okay? It's not about the DNA, it's about trust. What is this guy smoking? He says, I would have accepted anything, fertility issues, past mistakes, even complicated paternity, if I had just been told the truth. But she let me walk blind for 10 years, building a life around a lie. Now I have to decide whether I want to be a father to kids that aren't mine with a woman who broke everything we built. So this guy is more of a simp than I originally thought. So number one, he's trying to say now that it's not about the DNA. It is absolutely about the DNA. I don't know why dudes just want to be politically correct about this stuff. I think that men are so well within their rights to say, hey, I don't want to raise kids that are not my own. You know, it's not that you don't care about them. Okay, obviously you're emotionally attached to these kids, man. But like dudes do this stuff where they try and be politically correct. It is absolutely about the DNA. Okay, if this woman lied about something else, it would be totally fine, and mostly, right, depending on the severity. But because this is so severe, obviously there's no bouncing back from it whatsoever. So he says, I would have accepted anything, fertility issues, past mistakes, even complicated paternity, if I had just been told the truth. Personally, I think that's BS. Maybe, yeah, fertility issues, sure. Past mistakes, if you mean cheating, nope. Complicated paternity, I don't know what he means by this, but realistically, guys, at the end of the day, not your DNA, not your kids, not your problem. That's the way it is, right? The women knew the entire damn time. They knew what was going on. So, you know, again, I think the dude is blameless in this, really. I really think he is. And same with the kids, which is incredibly sad. So, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.